Morning. Morning, Mia. I'm going to give the rest of our friends a couple minutes to join us. But while we're waiting, if you will tell me like your favorite TV show in the group chat, it's okay if you have more than one. I totally get it's hard to pick just one. But I would love to know your favorite TV show. Um, I'm always looking for new TV shows to watch. Oh, Walking Dead. Oh, Twilight. Okay, I've seen that. I actually read those books. Those came out when I was in high school. Or the movies, I guess, came out when I was in high school. Does anybody watch The Office? I like really love like sarcastic comedy sitcoms, things like that. Like I love The Office, New Girl, Parks and Rec. Oh, Vampire Diaries. Okay, I was watching that. Actually, I don't know if I ever finished. It's like really gory. Wait, TikTok ruins what for you? Why? I must be missing something. Oh, they use it for everything. I gotcha. Alice in Wonderland. Okay. Alice in Borderland. I've never heard of that. Is that a movie or a oh that 70s show? Resident Evil. Okay, okay. I'm hearing of a lot of new shows. I'm kind of excited about it. Lethal Weapon. Okay. Okay. Good to know. Good to know. I might have to skip out on that one. All right. Well, I really appreciate y'all sharing your favorite TV shows and movies with me. That was fun. I like getting to know you and learning something new from you at the beginning of class. And now we get to learn together. So this is just a very, very super fast housekeeping item for you. If you log into your course today, you will see that your unit test, the first part, so the multiple choice part, is due today. Okay. If you want to do the review, there is a review in Class Kick. Remember, for the review, to get 5 extra credit points on your test, you have to do all of the questions and show your work. Okay. The review, it's like kind of a double bonus because if you do the review, show all your work, you're preparing yourself for the test, plus you get those 5 extra bonus points. Okay. So that's what you have today. Is your part 1. Tomorrow in the course, I'm going to be posting and emailing you a link to a TFAR assessment. You should have gotten an email from Mrs. Loughlin last week, I believe, and it had your TSDS ID number. So go back through your inbox and search for that. We're going to be taking a formative tomorrow. So you're going to take your test today, a formative tomorrow, and then Thursday you're going to do your Unit 2 writing assignment. But tomorrow, that formative only stays open for 2 weeks. Okay, so you have to complete it within the 2 weeks. If you don't complete it by September 28th, it's just a 0, and there's no chance for you to go back and complete it. You also only get 1 attempt. Okay, so take it serious, and please, please, please make sure you do it, because that's just what the principals are telling us, is that you get 1 attempt, and if you don't do it within the 2-week window, then you're just out of luck. Okay, and then your writing assignment is due Thursday, but obviously you can do it whenever. Alrighty, so today, Stormy, so what we're doing is, what I was talking about was the TFAR assessment for tomorrow. So I'm going to post the link and email you the link. It's just a formative assessment. They're making us use this platform so that way we can get data, and it's supposed to give us data like in a better format. So that's why we're doing it in this different website. So you should have gotten an email from Miss Locklean with your TSDS ID number, and then that will get you into the test. Jonathan, you have not done your writing assignment. No. Okay. Let me see. It's not a completion grade. The TFAR is for an actual, it's a quiz grade. And then you do not have to do the review, Richard, but if you do the review, do all the problems and show your work, then you get 5 extra points on your test. Oh, good, Stormy. So you should be good to go on how to log in. Yeah, most of you probably did this with biology, or you're doing it this week. Alrighty, so what I would like is do I have 3 volunteers who would like to try out these problems? So what you're going to do is you're going to write the domain, write the range, and then tell me if it's a function. Awesome. So Zach, I'm going to have you do the first one, Erica, the second, and then Adrena will have you do the third. So everyone else, while our friends are working them on the board, we're going to be working them on our own paper. Okay, so write them down on your own paper so that you can check your answers. If you are working it on the board, or you are working on your own paper and you have a question or you're stuck, just send me a message and let me know so that way I can help you. I'm going to give us like a minute and a half, and then I'll go over all of these. Jonathan, it's called the Unit 2 writing assignment in Class-Kick. All right, let's do about 30 more seconds. No worries. You actually have a pretty tough one. You have the toughest one for sure. All right. So if we look at Zach's, that's the first one. So we have we call this a mapping. We have a mapping. So our domain is listed in the circle on the left. That's our X value. And our range is listed in the circle on the right. That's our Y value. So because these are individual points, we list our domain. It's just a list of numbers. Okay. We want to check and make sure that none of our X values repeat. Okay. So to do that, we can either look at the mapping or we can look at the domain that we listed. So because 3, 4, 5, 6, we don't have any repeating numbers and we don't have two lines coming from one number, we can say that, yes, this is a function. So good job, Zachary. Okay, let's look at Erica. So the first thing we're going to do for the domain, since this is not a continuous function, okay, there's not a line that connects these. It's just points. So again, we're just going to list out our points. So everywhere I'd have a point, I'd circle it and say, okay, what's my X value? We've got -3, -2, 0, 1, 2, and 4. So we got -3, -2, 1, 0, 4, and then we need 2. For our range, those same points, we're going to go to every single of the same points, but we're going to underline the Y values here. So we've got -2, 1, 2, -3, 0, and then 2 is repeated. So we've got -3, -2, 1, 2, and then we need 0. So for this one, when I'm asking myself, is this a function? I look and see, do any of my X values repeat? They do not, so this is a function. Okay, now Adrena had the tricky one because this one is a continuous function. Okay, so this circle continues. I guess it's really a relation. It's not a function. It's a relation. So Adrena immediately knew it was not a function because it doesn't pass the vertical line test. When we're talking about domain, we want to go to the far left and the far right. Okay, because this is a continuous function, it's going to be an interval. So we're going to write this as an inequality. So my lowest value is probably -4.5, somewhere between -4 and -5. And that's going to, X, darn, I'm doing domain. Okay, X, so X is going to be all values greater than -4.5, but less than or equal to, that looks like what, 8.5? Okay, so it's every value for X that's in between those two lines. Our range, then we find our lowest value, that's at -2, and our highest value, which is up here. So our range is all the Y values that are greater than -2, but less than, we'll say that's like 5.8. Okay, and this is not a function. All righty. So here is function notation. So given that f of x, f right here, this f is just the name of the function. Okay, this x tells us what we're plugging in. It tells us what variables on the other side. Okay, so this left-hand side basically tells us what to do. This is saying, okay, we're going to have a variable x. The name of the function is f. So this function is 2 times 8 minus x minus 2. So for part A, it says, what does the notation f of negative 4 mean? So f of negative 4 means that we are plugging in negative 4 for every x in the original function. Okay, in other words, so I could write it like that. I could also say f of negative 4 means that x equals negative 4. And then normally we would be finding the y value. Okay, so now it says, what is the value of f of negative 4? So I'm going to rewrite this out. Instead of, remember this on the left tells us what we're supposed to be doing. So instead of x, anywhere there was an x, I'm putting a negative 4. But I still have to rewrite my original problem. So I still have this 8 minus, and then when I plug things in, I plug them in parentheses. So now you can see I have that double negative. So go ahead and write that down first. You can always, always, always just plug this in your calculator. You do not have to do it in your head. So f of negative 4 equals 2 times. Now we have this double negative. So 8 minus negative 4. That becomes 8 plus 4. 8 plus 4 is 12. So we have 2 times 12 minus 2. 2 times 12 is 24. 24 minus 2 equals 22. Okay, so what does this all mean? This means that when x is 4, negative 4, sorry, then y equals 22. Questions about that one? Sure, Angel, what's up? Okay, so f is just the name of the function. It was given to me. So right here it says, given that f of x equals this part on the left. So this was just given to me. They already told me that that's what the function f is. All right, let's try this one. So suppose that f of x equals 1/2 x minus 8. Evaluate for f of 2. Do I have anybody that wants to write out the steps and plug in on the board? Awesome. Thank you, Jonathan. Okay, you have whiteboard tools, so go ahead and write out all your steps. And then everyone else, you're just going to be putting this on your own paper and solving for f of 2. Jonathan, good job. Okay, so perfect, Jonathan. Great job. Thank you so much. So it tells us, okay, Angel, I cannot help you on the writing assignment while I'm teaching the class. Okay, so maybe don't work on the writing assignment right now and pay attention to what's going on in the class because that will help you on the writing assignment. All right, so we have the function of x is equal to 1/2 x minus 8. And we want to evaluate f of 2. So anywhere there was an x, I'm going to put in a 2. So f of 2 equals 1/2 times 2 minus 8. 1/2 of 2 is 1. 1 minus 8 equals -7. Good job. Perfect. All right, let's try this one. This says a function contains the points 5, 6, 7, 12, 11, 4, 16, 8, and 21, 3. Which of the following points cannot also be in the function? So remember, what makes something a function? How do we know if it's a function or not? Okay, yeah. So if it's a function, that means the x values cannot repeat. So which one of these cannot be in the function? Meaning, which one of them has an x value that repeats? Good. Very good. So most of you answered and said A. Exactly, because we already have 16 up here. The rest of these, 18, 3, and 25, those are not listed up in our original set of points yet. Good. All right, now let's take a look at this one. Which one of these graphs does not represent y as a function of x? So which one of these is not a function? Be very careful. Good. Good job. Good. Most of you are getting this right. So remember, we're going to use the vertical line test. So just draw yourself or pretend there's a straight line going up and down, and you are moving it across the screen. You want to make sure you're only hitting your function in one spot at a time. Okay, so let's take a look. Most of us got it correct. The answer was A. Very good. So if I put a straight line here, and now I start to move this across A, at the start I'm okay, but then if I move it, you can tell it hits my black line here and here. Okay, so therefore this one is not a function. Whoops, that would be correct. That's the one we want. For B, this one seems kind of tricky, but it only ever hits the function, the black line that's graph. It only ever hits it one time. So therefore that one is a function. Same with C. And same with D. We can just move it straight across. All right, so now let's go ahead and work on some domain and range. So this one is asking us to write out the domain and write out the range on our own. So I want you to tell me, what do you notice when we're looking at domain first? What do you notice about the endpoints of this graph? Tell me what you notice, and then tell me what that means. Good, Jonathan. We do have arrows. What do arrows mean? Arrows at the end of a graph. What does that mean? Good. It means it continues, keeps going. Very good. So if this continues, okay, if you have a parabola that continues on, meaning there's arrows at the end, we can say that our domain is all real numbers. Okay, because it would be going from negative infinity to positive infinity. Okay, so now for our range we want to start at the lowest value. So when I get to the lowest value, it actually has those arrows again. So that would mean it would go from negative infinity. And of course, we're talking about y values. And my highest value is 4. Okay, so you can write it just like this, from negative infinity to positive 4, including 4. Sometimes, though, if you're given multiple choice, you will just simply see it written as all y values that are less than 4. So, whoopsies, you'll just see this second half of the range, okay? So we're saying it contains any number that's less than 4. So that includes negative infinity. All right, I want you to write, do I have anybody that would volunteer to write out the domain and range of this function? Got domain and range, and this is going to be an inequality. This is an interval because I have a solid line all the way through. Anybody? Okay, Zach, thank you. Go ahead. The rest of y'all, will you write this on your own paper, please? That's a good start. Good. So for domain, we go farthest left. So that would be this point. And that x value is -5 exactly. And he did less than or equal to. And our farthest right value is at 4. Good job. All right, now let's talk about the range. Okay, good. So our lowest value, we look at the bottom, our lowest value for y is going to be -4. Very good. And that's a closed circle. Zachary wrote f of x. You can write f of x or you can write y. Either one is fine. They mean the same thing. Our highest value, we go over to the y value, and it's going to be at 4. So that one is from -4, including -4, up to +4. Very good. Good job. All right, let's take a look at this question. So look at your x values carefully. Which of these following tables, A, B, C, or D, represents y as a function of x? So remember, something is a function if the x values do not repeat. Good. Y'all are doing great. So let's start with A. We have -5, 3. Oh, there's -5 again, so it cannot be A. If we look at B, we have 6, -6, 8, and -8. So far, so good. Look at C, we have -3, 1. Oh, -3, can't be C. And then if we have, for D, it's 2, 2, 2. That one's easy. Those all repeat. So B is the correct answer. Okay, let's talk about evaluating a function from a graph. So this is what I want you to think. When x equals some value, I can find that the function of x is the y value. Okay, so find f of 5. What does this mean? This means when x equals 5, what I'm asking myself is, what is the y value? What is y? So when x equals 5, I come over here. Here's x equals 5. I go down till I hit my graph right here. So when x equals 5, f of 5, my y value equals -3. So y'all tell me, what is f of 0? In other words, when x equals 0, what is my y value? Good. When x equals 0, that's going to be here. I come down. Where do I hit my graph? Right here at this point. At -4. Very good. Okay. So we're going to first evaluate, is this a function? Yes or no? So let's look at this first one. Is this a function? And tell me, how do I know? How do I know if something is a function? What do I do? What am I looking for? Good. Anya, I'm looking to make sure that my x value does not repeat. Okay, so the first one, is this a function? I check my x values, 8, -1, 2, 3, and -8. Nothing's repeating there, so is this a function? Yes. All right, now this part is saying, remember, ordered pairs are x comma y. So it's saying, okay, when x is 2, what is my y value? So I come to my table. Here's x is 2. The y value is 7. Okay. When we evaluate from a graph, like number 2 on the right, we can write our function. We can write it as an ordered pair like we did over here on the left, 2, 7. Or we can write it as a function notation, f of -1. Both of these mean when x equals -1, y equals what? We're asking ourselves, what is the y value? Okay, So I have to look at my graph to get this. When x equals -1, that's right here. So I'm going to go down, down, down until I get to my graph. When x equals -1, the y value is -4. Okay, now I want you to try. This will be number 1, and this will be number 2. So are they functions? Yes or no? And then you're going to tell me what is g of 0 and what is h of 3. The g and the h are the same thing as f. Those are just the names of the functions. That's all. Good. Yes. So both of these are functions. Yes, function. 2, yes, function. We don't have any repeating x values. Good. So now come down here at the bottom and tell me, okay, this means when x is 0, what is y? Over here, h of 3. When x is 3, what is y? So we go to 0. Go up, up, up. Right here. Good. Answer is going to be 3. Very good. What about for number 2? Good, Anya. You're right. Yep. When x is 3, that's right here. So I go up. There's my point. What's the y value? 2. Yep. So h of 3 equals 2. Good, Stormy. Good. Good, Laurel. Very good. Good, Ben. Okay, so again, what if you don't have a graph? This is the same function notation we were just working on at the beginning. Let's test and see how we do. Given that g of x equals 4x minus 5, what is the value of the function when x equals -3? So who can tell me? I'm going to open up the room chat. What do I need to do? What is this problem asking me to do? I'm not solving for x. I already know what x equals. X is -3. Anybody know? What should I do? Good. Jonathan, tell me what you did. Good, Shania. Exactly. So, Richard, I'm not going to have that x in there anymore, but you're close. So this is telling me x equals 3. So I'm going to say, okay, g of 3 equals, it's asking me to plug in -3 for x. Notice x is not there anymore. Oh, okay, multiply. So when we plug things in, we want to plug them in parentheses. All right, so now you can type this in your calculator. You can do it in your head if you prefer, or you feel confident in that. 4 times -3 is -12. What is -12 minus 5? Good, Jonathan. Good, Richard. Good. Exactly, Ben. That's exactly right. So when x is 3, if x is 3, then y equals -17. Very good. All right. Let's try some more. Here we go. Actually, hold on. We've done that one. All right. Take a look at this one. What is the domain of this function? So, yes, Anya, you're right. That's exactly right. What is the domain? Okay, someone tell me, what does domain represent? And knowing that, which of these answer choices can I automatically eliminate? Good. So domain is talking about x values. So because of that, D is gone. Adios. We're not picking you. All right. So now you take a look. All right. So most of you chose A, some B's and some C's. So let's take a look at this. I want to find my farthest left point. Awesome. That's right down here at -1. So if I wrote this out by myself, -1 less than or equal to X, and my farthest point to the right is going to be at 5. So less than or equal to 5. A is my correct answer. Alrighty, why don't you try this one? Again, it's asking for domain. So we can eliminate, no worries, Ben. We can eliminate 2 of these answer choices right off the bat. Good, Jonathan. A and C. Yep, A and C, because those have Y values in them. All right, let's take a look at this. Most of you have said D. Most of you would be correct. Very good. So we want to look at our lowest value. It's at -2. It's an open circle, so I'm just going to use my less than sign. We're talking about X values, and my farthest point to the right is at 6. All right, this is the last one we're going to do for today. A student rode a bike from school to the recreation center. The graph shows the student's distance in miles from the recreation center after riding his bike for X minutes. Okay, so when he rode his bike for 0 minutes, he was 9 miles from the recreation center. When he rode his bike for, let's see, 12 minutes, he was 5 miles. Okay, so this is asking, what is the range of the function? Okay, range is talking about which set of numbers or which axis, the X or the Y axis. Good. I know, Ben, I just covered it up. So range is talking about the Y axis. So my range is talking about the distance in miles. So the miles go from 0 to 9, right? So let's read through our answer choices. All real numbers greater than or equal to 0, that makes sense, and less than or equal to 28. No, 28 is talking about minutes, so it cannot be F. G says all real numbers greater than or equal to 0 and less than or equal to 9. That looks pretty good. H says all real numbers less than or equal to 28. Remember, 28 was the minutes. J says all real numbers less than or equal to 9. What's the difference between G and J? Yeah, so the 0. Okay, so exactly, Anya, that's right. So J, the problem with J is all numbers less than or equal to 9. Well, -100 is less than 9. But can I be -100 miles from something? No, I cannot. So that is why G is our correct answer. All right, guys.